Okay, so I'm going to tell you how to win at everything all the time, and I'll give you two examples. One is like I was in yoga and I was having trouble doing my Tree of Life pose. Like I've always had like really good balance, and this one day I was really surprised that my balance just wasn't cooperating, and my instructor said, "Don't worry about it. Like you've reached, kind of a barrier. Why don't you switch? Why don't you go do some groundwork, and actually, why don't you learn some partner poses? I don't think you hardly know any partner poses." And so I went to go learn a different aspect about what I was doing. Gave me a greater base overall for how I was as a yoga practitioner, and it made me a better yoga practitioner. And that turned that moment of a lack of balance into a greater strength, learning more about what I was doing. And the same thing happened with chess. I would play these people that were just amazing players. In many cases, sometimes they just have, like a lot of years more practice at it than I'd had. But so what, losing to these people over and over again, how does that feel like winning? How did I win? I just focused on my defense, and I learned so much about defense that as time went on, my defenses were really aggressive defenses. They were a slow-moving, well-fortified attack is what they were. And by the time these defenses were I was practiced and really solid at them. I'd also been destroyed like a million times. I was really familiar with how to use my pieces in a really effective, destructive manner. And so I wouldn't say that, like I started beating everybody all the time. Like I started winning like maybe 5% of all my games. But all my games, even the ones where I lost, were victories because of how I would just try to redirect my learning and my expectations. So I felt like I was a way better yoga practitioner as time went on. Better compared to myself, and a way better chess player. I'd learned things that you could only learn under some really intense games, and by people who had a fantastic knowledge and ability. Now, the way to lose all the time is to think that it feels great to win, so I only want to win. Or like someone said at work, "Hey, why don't you leave it?" "No, leave it." Oh man, there's fish bones. Fish bones everywhere. "No, leave it, Ivan." Your value is based on being better than other folks. Like, I'm a good chess player because I win all the time. I know that I'm a really high jumper because I could jump higher than the people at my class or something like that. But here's where this leads, because there's always going to be somebody that has more years experience at chess. There's always going to be somebody that could jump higher, and then where that leads to constant defeat is, for some people, the feeling of winning is more important than the value of being better than how well they used to be able to do it. So they start finding excuses like, "Oh, that person jumps higher because they're younger and lighter," or something like that. Like kids could jump really high, but people my age, I jump higher. Like you find excuses, and then the worst thing I see is people then surround themselves with people that they feel better than, superior to, and it just destroys their humanity. I can't stress it enough. It's a caustic mindset that you can't base your self-worth on the fact that you feel better than other people. or the fact that you won something. You know, I beat somebody at something. I think that's all I have to say about it. I did have a friend that became so upset if he lost at anything. He'd only want to participate in things that we did if he was better than me at it, and so that, you know, if that felt progressively more limiting, because he was a good guy. He just was, you know, those people that are just like, they're so competitive. But it wasn't that he was so competitive, it's that his self-worth came from being competitive. And so what I would do, I didn't really even think about it too much, is I started letting him win at things. And eventually he caught on, and it was really, he was super angry at me, because he thought, you know, according to his logic, you know, that I was all this time feeling better than him because I could beat him at chess or something like that, and I chose not to. And so like suddenly all the things that he'd beat me in the past, he wanted to do all those over again, and I couldn't have it. It was just terrible, and it was the wrong thing for me to do, to allow it, to encourage it, to throw games, you know, just so this person could have a false sense of victory, because it seemed like victory was so important that I thought, well, let's play a game really fast. I'll lose really fast so we could get past this your maniacal desire, ego maniacal desire to be better than me at anything. So then you could relax a little bit. We actually enjoy each other's company. So yeah, it's pretty terrible. There was no coming back from that. Like it threw our whole past into an injurious light. You know, like the whole idea of like how many times have I let this person beat me at something just because I thought his ego couldn't handle losing. I mean, not that I was wrong about that. It's just I should have had anything to do with it.